Thank you so much. And Taoiseach, I know that child poverty is a huge concern for the government, and I know your commitment to it. I just think myself, again, I always go back to Carlow, Kilkenny, where I know so much about the issues there. And if you look at there a few years ago, myself and Father Dunphy and other members, we set up what would be technically a soup kitchen, but we call it St. Clair's Hospitality, which we give food to families, children, and we give out food parcels, but we get no grant. We can get no funding from government, and I just feel that needs to be addressed. At the moment, it's volunteers are doing it. We're always looking for funding, and I would ask, because there is so many families coming to St. Clair's Hospitality, that there would be some stream of funding there. And the issue even with that comes along is, if you look at what I welcome all the DEIS schools this year and the amount last year that we've got, but there is the confusion, and I've always said this about the DEIS status. We have a DEIS 1, we have a DEIS 2. So DEIS 1 is boys, and DEIS 2 is girls. So really in the same area of Carlow, Tullow and other areas, you have schools where you have boys' schools and girls' school. One will get the breakfast, the boys' school will get the breakfast, and the girls' school don't, and they don't qualify for others. I just think these are issues that need to be addressed, because while they're all good, and I know that a lot of work has gone into it, but just over the weekend I met with couples that I would know well that would have gone to work abroad. So a lot of them would have gone to Canada, Dubai, other areas. A lot of them would have gone about 8 or 9 years ago when there was issues with engineering and stuff like that. But a lot of them have returned home with children. They can't get a creche because there's a 2-year creche place. They can't get a doctor or a dentist, and they cannot get the services. I would ask that we look at these. It needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Deputy Murnane-O'Connor mentioned funding for food banks. I think Department of Social Protection and Feed through the EU programme provides funding for that, so I can certainly check up on that. There are different models though, and I know from my own area of Blanchardstown, where Crosscare used to provide a food bank, they've gone to a very different model, and I had a chance to meet them before Christmas, and I have to say I was really impressed. They moved away from the model where people would queue up or come in and receive food or food parcels to a model where they deliver the parcels to the house. That's destigmatising, but also they then sit down and work individually with each household, and that's enabled them to find out in a lot of cases that people have entitlements they haven't been claiming, or in some cases all they really needed was help with a particular bill or a particular issue. And once that's done, then they're able to go back to buying their groceries and buying their shopping in the shops just as we all do. And I think it's important that we have models that actually enable people not to become dependent on charity provision. I think that's a very good model to be looked at in other areas too. And certainly would echo the Deputy's comments on the need to continue to improve our public services to cope with the rising needs of our society and our population. I didn't quite catch everything that Deputy O'Murku said, but I would trust the Gardaí to make the right decisions on such matters, and would also trust social workers in Tusa to make the right decisions in relation to child protection. And often they're the only ones that really knows what's going on within a family situation and whether it is the right thing to take a child away from a family or not. And that's always a very big decision to make.